Strong work this morning from your Oaks fillies. Can you talk us through the work a little?
Yeah, I kind of designed it that way. I put Simply Joking inside, who generally is a really good workhorse. You know, the Drexel Hill is coming off a bit of a layoff, and Simply Joking, 5 weeks between, so we wanted something pretty sharp, and they gave it to us exactly how we designed it.
Looking at the two of them, starting with Simply Joking, did she need the race last time off her little bit of a break?
Sure, yeah, they all need to run, yeah. For sure. So, you know, we would like to have run 2 more times up to this, but we only got 1 start. But, you know, with that work there and everything together, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Mm-hmm. And then did Drexel Hill not need the race and then need a stiff work this morning?
Yeah, just the timing of her kind of campaign up to this point. I just didn't feel like another start for her, having the points already and just, you know, kind of where you had to ship and everything that was going to go into it. I felt like just giving her a little extra time was going to be the better situation, and she worked fantastic this morning. We'll find out how it all lays out. You kind of got to separate the visual from the time. You know, you can obviously, when you get the confirmation that obviously when they have a work that looks so visually impressive, and then you get a time that's fast horses are going to breeze fast. You know, if you put them in a position to do so, and both of them, like I did, I put them in a position to do that, and they did that. If the track's a little quick, we'll find out at the end of the morning. You know, it's tough to say right now is the first set, but like I said, it can slow down, it can speed up. I'm not sure, but I know this track historically speeds up closer to Derby we get, so, you know, maybe not.
You're a Louisville guy. I mean, first Derby last year, but first Oaks this year.
Yeah.
What does it mean to participate in this?
Yeah, this is the type of races that we're trying to put ourselves in every year, and, you know, to be a part of these really historical, like, we used to not have to go to school on Oaks Day. Like, that was a big deal for us growing up here, you know. I can remember coming out here on many years, coming to the infield and placing bets. And it's pretty awesome, yeah, to be here. I mean, I don't have to go to school, but still, I'd come here anyway. So,
how cool is it having 3 horses that get the saddle towel?
Yeah.
When not that long ago, you probably had 3 horses.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah. I mean, it's just when, I guess I've been working around and doing this for so long, and, you know, I spent a lot of time as an assistant, and just like being able to see and watch, and, you know, how it all kind of comes together when you have the horses of this caliber that can put themselves in these type of races, just the kind of the process you need to, you know, kind of follow, and, you know, the moves you need to make as you're trying to campaign them from, say, point, you know, November, December, all the way to here. You know, just the growth of everything, and just like making the small moves with each individual horse, and then getting to these ones. It's been fun, but we haven't really been paying too much attention to it. But hopefully with anything, it's like just the natural growth of any business. We're trying to grow, we're trying to get, you know, bigger, better horses, you know, owners that are willing to invest more money, and it seems like every step or every move we've made has allowed those things to continue to unfold.
Well, Legion Bloodstock has been a great for you addition to the
Legion, yeah, they've been my biggest supporter since day one, and they have brought so many new people, and just like having these guys who I've kind of like grown up in this business with, you know, that we've all worked together for much longer than just my short training career. I mean, I've known these guys for, you know, like 10 plus years, so to have, and we just get along. Like I said, we were friends long before any, you know, business association was kind of drawn up, so yeah, it's just, it covers from all angles, you know, you get to work and hang with people you like.
Were you working for Todd when, or am I going back too far? When Kyle was working for Pat?
Yeah.
And you were by each other, the barns?
Well, yeah, like he was in Palmettos, like he was in the barn right next to us in Palmettos, and then we'd ship in, or like Kyle's from Louisville, I'm from Louisville, you know, it's just like in the racetrack, you just, you know, you get to know people over the years, and you see them in different places, like every now and again, and then eventually, like, some paths just are meant to cross and stay intertwined for longer. And yeah, me and Kyle.
I'm admiring your Giants shirt, and Jeff Barry is like assistant to the president or something like that.
Yeah, so Jeff Barry, I think he's like assistant or consultant or something to Buster Posey, who's the president of the Giants. So yeah, they've been great. Thanks to them for outfitting us all. We've been loading the shed row, getting everybody hats, shirts. So yeah, we're all Giants fans now.
He is a partner in Flying Mohawk.
Jeff is, yeah.
Yeah,
Jeff
and his kid designed the silks.
The silks, yeah, Clark. I think it's kind of a pretty simple set, but a real sharp set. And I think I had to send him down to Gulfstream. A horse of theirs, Insubordination, won I think it was a Turf Maiden the other day. So we sent them down, but hopefully we'll get them back here soon.
So you've got a Giants tie, and then Jason Worse, the part owner of this horse. So you've got
that's the
guys.
whole I think that's kind of whole connection. Jason was kind of the initial, and him and Jeff are real close, so they've kind of brought he brought him in, and it's been awesome. They're like, aside from their stature within the ranks of professional baseball, they're just awesome guys to have around, and we're having a blast.
So, in terms of having a blast, first Derby last year under your belt.
Yeah.
You got a couple horses this year. Hopefully, you don't have a medical emergency this week.
I won't.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah. I enjoy this no matter what. I get up every day, 365 days a year. So it's like we always enjoy it. But when you get to these, moments when everybody's watching and just, allows for everybody to kind of get the insight, the behind the scenes look into what's going on back here and what we do every day. Like I said, it's cool to be in these spots. It's really cool to be, part of these, historical Kentucky races that I grew up going to, watching, and just, being such a part of our community.
Did you have to do a reset when you were used to working for big outfits with lots of horses? And then and nobody gave you anything when you left?
No, I
so
didn't.
When you went out on your own and you had what did you start out with?
I started with one horse. On September 11, 2021, I had one horse come up, a friend and a guy who, I worked with close at the time, Nick Salusto, I can't remember the name of their, he sent up an Into Mischief colt, and that just kind of from there, I was looking at my old training charts the other day, just kind of went from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7, and just monthly we just added. And like I said, it was tricky starting out when you go, from everything you possibly need with horses and just, tons of options with workmates, with, just so many things you take for granted. Then you go into a, much smaller, situation where you don't have the resources, you don't have the endless, nobody has endless money, but more, money to kind of like, foot the bills, and you're relying on just a little, make sure you get paid. It's tricky. There's a lot of stress, you think every day could be your last, then as you kind of grow and you get more insulated, you realize that, I feel like I was always meant to do this. So it's one of those things. I know what the process is, and I just got to trust the vision I had, and doing all that seems to have brought us to this point, and hopefully continue to take us to higher peaks. And, with those higher peaks will come valleys, but we'll just maintain, kind of forward focus and even keel through it all.